Hello, everyone. Um, my name is Marcos, and today I'd like to share another dream. And this dream I wanted to share for a very long time, but I forgot about it because I've been placing other dreams that I also had to share. But recently, the Lord reminded me, and I feel that I need to share it today. So this dream had four parts, and I was gonna share all the parts. But the first part was actually not related to anything, and also um, it only created doubt because it was kind of nonsense. So, and the Lord has let me know that the first part was not really important. So so I'm gonna leave it out. And so I'm just gonna share the last three parts of the dream. And what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna share the second, third, and fourth part, and the second part I'll share it in English, and the third and fourth parts I'm gonna share them in English and other languages because the last two parts were they were concerning many countries, and the second part was concerning something about being careful with technology, with a type of technology that we have today, right? Like home assistants. And okay, so this second part of the dream that I had, not gonna show the first one. So this one, the first one is kind of obsolete. And so the second part of this dream that I had it on July 2021, and I dreamt that I was walking towards my parents' bedroom, and as I walked, I suddenly have knowledge of many things. First, I knew that um, I understood that a new type of home assistant, like a machine, was invented. So it was like in a future. I was like in a future time, but I didn't know exactly what year or anything. But I knew that I was in a future time, and I understood that there was this new home assistant that was invented, and that many people were installing those things in their homes. And I also knew that the assistant was not necessarily it wasn't an artificial intelligence like an AI assistant that some people have today. And now people need to understand that the assistants that people have today, like Alexa, Siri, and many others, people need to understand that those things are spying on people all the time, and that they are listening to them 24/7. So I don't know why people have that, but if you're trying to get one, I suggest that you don't, because those things will one day bring a lot of harm. Now, the weird thing about this assistant that I saw in this future time was that it was not a machine, it was alive. Like, it was like, in fact, it actually had a name. So this assistant that I saw in the future was alive, and what people would do is that they would call it by its name, and the thing would come to you wherever you were in the house. So it was like it knew every part of the house, and you couldn't, I don't know how, but you could not escape from it. And so after I had the knowledge and I was walking towards my parents' bedroom, I I saw some men install this at our house. Now it wasn't actually my house. It was like a house that represented uh, the one that I'm in. So so yeah, it represented my house, and there were these men that were like hired, and they installed it in the house. And the thing is that they would install it on the rooms, like uh, only like on the person's bedroom, right? So I don't know why, but they put it in the bedroom, and that assistant had access to the whole house. And okay, so the assistant was a regular. It looked like a what I saw was a sorry, not regular, rectangular black box, and it was about the height of a medium person, and it was installed in a corner of the room. And in this case, it was my parents' room, and inside the box was a strange, demonic blob, and I knew that it was alive, and that blob, like a slime, it was it was all encased inside the box. And the weird thing is that this demonic being, which is evil, this being had a name, and the thing is that they tell you that you have to, for example, the owner of the house would call it by its name, and this blob that was inside the black box, it would it would kind of slide, like a part of the blob would slide out of the box, like it had a cap, and the thing would go out. And the thing is that weird slime, black looking slime, it was like the box was black, and the slime itself was it looked like molten tar, like, or like, yeah, like tar. It was that dark, and I knew that it wasn't just some slime, it was like a living thing. So, and it was also a demonic creature. So this thing would, like, a part of it would go out, and it would slowly, like, the slime would float in the air, and it would come to you wherever you were. And it was like it and it was like its hand, but it was, at the same time, I knew that it didn't have a defined shape. So wherever you put this blob, it would take that space. So in this case, it was the shape of a box, like of the rectangular box, but it was like an amoeba, so it didn't have any shape. And this thing would come to you, and the purpose that the what it should do, or what it should have done, was that it would help you, like, take things. Uh, you told it to cook, it would cook or something. It was kind of like that, but I knew that it was not a good thing. It was a demonic creature. Okay, so in the dream, I don't know why, but in the dream, the name of this creature was called Shrike, like Shrike. And I recognized, after the dream, I immediately remembered this movie that came out. I think it was 2018. It's called Mortal Engines, and this movie, I knew I then understood that sometimes movies have names of creatures, and usually they're not, they are demonic entities. They're not, and fictitious or made up. They're not really made up. But the thing is that this assistant was called Shrike, and every assistant had a name in this dream. So, but the weird thing was that at one point, when the people installed it at the house and we paid them, the people went away, and we called it to, I don't know, to help us or something, or to test it. And when we did, at first it began to attack us, and it was very scary because the blob, the slime thing, would, I don't know how, but it was like the thing would come to you immediately. Like, you called its name, and it would come to you wherever you were in the house, And even if you try to escape from it and try to climb, I don't know, your bed, or trying to climb up a chair, it would still, because it would slide through the floor as well. And it started to attack us, and it was creepy because he tried to grab us by the limbs and pull us all the way towards the box. And then after all that struggle, suddenly it was like time passed and the thing became good, like quote unquote good. But and then after that, in the dream, my dad, and apparently but it was like when it became good, for some reason I felt like empathy for it. But it was weird because I knew the thing was not good, but in the dream, like once it got used to the house and to the people, like people would have some kind of appreciation, or like a love for this thing, as if it was part of the family. And at the end of this part of the dream, my dad sold it to another house, like to another family, and then it went away, and then that part ended. So, uh, okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna stop it here, and then in the next video I'm gonna talk about the third and the fourth part of the dream. And so before I finish, I'd like to talk about what I thought about this part, because I know that many people have, like, I don't know how many people, but I know that a lot of people have these voice assistants like Alexa, Siri, Google Assistant, or like I think it's Google Home. And people have these things in their homes, and they don't know that these things are part of the Beast system, and that when in fact, there's people that have evidence that this thing actually hears you. And there've been news reports, of course, when this thing first came. Of course, now I doubt that they make a news report about spying. But those things spy on people, and people need to understand that the governments, and that these things are part of the beast system. And one day, when they hear someone speak something they don't want, they come after the person. So I urge that if people would understand this, that they would not buy or have any assistant in their home, because they sell it like something that will somehow solve a problem, but it's actually worse, because it's a spying technique from the government, but at the same time it makes people kind of lazy at the same time, because people are supposed to do things, and people have this futuristic mindset that the movies and the media have put on them, that things are gonna get more easier and better, but that's not true. So yeah, especially if you're a Christian and you love the Lord, and if you have these things in your house, or you use this assistant a lot in your phone or computer or anything, I simply suggest that you would pray to God that He can show you that these things are evil, and that of course you take it out of the house. So thank you for listening, and the next video is going to be about the third and the fourth parts. And the next video I'm going to make it, of course, in the other languages, which are going to be English, Spanish, Mandarin Chinese, Russian, Urdu from Pakistan, and hopefully also in Armenian, because Armenia was also mentioned in the dream. So thanks for listening, and may God bless. Thank you.